My fellow Nigerians and viewers all over the world, something explosive is happening. And tonight we are going to break it all down. P2B has shocked the nation with a vow to serve just 4 years if elected as president in 2027. But while the nation is reacting to his words, the Tinubu government, through Festus Keyamo, the Minister of Aviation, announced it will spend 712 billion naira. Yes, 712 billion naira of our so-called fuel subsidy money, our savings, on just one airport terminal. That's more than the entire 2024 capital budget for education. Where is outrage? Where is outrage coming from the Nigerian masses? This, why Nigerians are drowning in hunger, drowning in debt, drowning in insecurity, what is happening at Benue, what is happening in Enugu, what is happening all over the nation, in Jos. Tonight, we dissect the truth they don't want you to hear. The lies, the loans, the legacies of waste, and most importantly, what ordinary Nigerians like you are seeing across the streets, on the WhatsApp groups, on social media platforms. This is not just analysis. This is a call to wake up. Welcome to Hot Take Nation Live, where we unpack the truth they want hidden. And before we dive into today's live, do me one favor. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. Select all so you never miss when we drop new content. Trust me, what we are about to discuss is too important to miss. And as you are watching, start thinking, what's your take on this? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you. Smash the like button, tag 3 friends, and let's dive in. This is Hot Take Nation and we are going live now. Okay, so we are going to be looking at several topics tonight. One of the first topics we are going to be looking at is Obi's one-term vow. Okay? Obi's one-term vow. P2B, in a new message, has pledged to serve only one term if he becomes president. He says that 4 years is enough to fix Nigeria. But the question is, why would he make such a bold promise? Why would he make such a bold promise? 4 years is enough to build the foundations for a new Nigeria, says P2B. And people are reacting from the various social media platforms. People are saying this is too bold, sounding desperate. People are saying he needs psychiatric evaluations and or whatnot. Let me know in the comments, do you believe P2B can turn around things within 4 years, or is this another political bait? Let's take a quick look at his promise and reactions from people across the world, okay? Yes, let's take a quick look at what P2B has said. He said that 4 years is enough to build a foundation for a new Nigeria. 4 years, just 4 years is enough to get that done. So let's look at what he has said. He tweeted personally in his Facebook page that one of the greatest American presidents, Abraham Lincoln, served only 4 years, yet his legacy endures as a model of principled leadership. Another iconic figure, John F. Kennedy, did not even complete a full term, yet his vision and ideals continue to inspire generations. In Africa, Nelson Mandela, revered globally as a symbol of justice and reconciliation, chose to serve only one term as a president of South Africa, despite immense public pressure to stay longer. His decision was a deliberate act of leadership, a statement that power must serve the people, not the self. Indeed, history shows that the longer many African leaders remain in power, the more likely they are to be corrupted by it. Longevity in office is not a mark of success. Rather, it is a purposeful, accountable service, however brief, that defines true statesmanship. It is within this context that I retaliate my vow. I will serve only one term of 4 years if elected as president, and that vow is sacrosanct. I am fully aware that the decay in our society has made trust one of the scarcest and most skeptically viewed commodities. Many Nigerians understandably no longer take politicians at their words. But even in this climate of cynicism, there are still a few whose actions have matched their words, whose integrity is built on verifiable precedent. Recently, I became aware of the two statements aimed, albeit indirectly, at my vow to serve only a single 4-year term. One person remarked that even if I swore by a shrine, I still wouldn't be believed. Another suggested that anyone talking about doing only one term should undergo psychiatric evaluation. I understand the basis of their skepticism. They are judging me by their own standards, where political promises are made to be broken. But they forget, or perhaps choose to ignore, that P2B is not cut from that cloth. I have a verifiable track record that speaks louder than speculations. In my political life, my word is my bond. When I entered politics in Anambra State, I made clear and measurable promises to the people to improve education and healthcare, to open up rural areas through road construction, and to manage public funds with prudence. I fulfilled each of those promises without deviation. I did not swear by a shrine, nor have I been certified mentally unstable as a result of honoring my word. My vow to serve only one term of 4 years is a solemn commitment rooted in my conviction that purposeful, transparent leadership does not require an eternity. If making such a promise qualifies me for psychiatric evaluation, then we may as well question the mental fitness of those who framed our constitution, which clearly stipulates a 4-year renewable tenure. I maintain without equivocation, if elected, I will not spend a day longer than 4 years in office. In fact, I believe that service should be impactful, not eternal. We must rebuild trust in our country. I have dedicated my public life to demonstrating that leadership with integrity is not a myth. I have done it before, and I do not intend to betray that trust under any circumstances. 48 months is enough for any leader who is focused and prepared to make a meaningful difference. In that time, I intend not merely to make an impression, but to deliver on concrete promises to sanitize our governance system, tackle insecurity through effective and accountable use of national resources, prioritize education, healthcare, and poverty alleviation, catalyze small businesses as engines of growth, and combat corruption with unflinching resolve. Above all, I will dedicate myself to transforming Nigeria from a consuming nation into a productive one, where agriculture, technology, and manufacturing replace rent-seeking and waste as our national anchors. These are not utopian dreams. These are realistic, actionable goals that are achievable within 4 years. A new Nigeria is possible. Wow, that was amazing. That was mind-blowing. Coming from His Excellency Peter Obi. Okay, now we are going to delve into reactions coming from the social media platforms, what people are saying about what Peter Obi said. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at a quick review of some of the comments to that statement. Okay, so let's look at it together. Okay, so some people are saying, able shining leader, we trust your efforts, Peter Obi. Forget the talkative classroom professor without empathy. This person is saying, masterpiece, we know those that need psychiatric evaluation, not you, PO. Envy, go buy them. Ndi, Obi, Ofo. Impressive, we trust you and your efforts. God bless you, Peter Obi. Dalosa Okute Ndibo. Thank you so much, my principal. Okay, my leader, no mind that you're professor. God bless you, sir. Just see visions, missions, and core values outrightly mapped out. This is the leader Nigerians are voting for. We are tired of blind leaders who has led us into doom and so forth. Past and present experience have shown that those political office holders that focus on 8 years only use their first 1.5 years to understand the office and the remaining 2.5 years to work towards re-election, thereby abandoning governance, and any leader that focuses on delivering democratic dividends within 4 years single tenure can take tough decisions without being undermined. Also, a man who understands that leadership is not about how long but how well. This is the kind of promise Nigerians need, rooted in accountability, courage, and clarity of purpose in a nation where political vows are often broken before the ink dries. P2B reminds us. Okay, so people are responding according to how they feel, the message touched them. Okay, trust is earned, and you earn that when you were governor as you fulfilled all your promises. I saw the improvement firsthand. Okay, and this person said that Constitution recognized 4 years. That you go for second term doesn't mean you must do 2 terms. One nonsense prof can't, So people are responding. Obi is everything you need as a leader. Let's see why Atiku should not wait 4 years. In this regard, Tinubu and Obi will share the 8 years for the South. Okay, we believe in P2B because it leads with. So people were responding variously, and they were saying great things about what Mr. P2B said. Okay, so now that is the reaction from people all over the world. I didn't have time to read all that comment. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the next item. The next item we are about to discuss. The next item we are discussing. Okay, and that item is what? On fuel subsidy. The lies. The fuel subsidy lies. The 712 billion airport project that Festus Keyamo, the aviation minister, announced just on Sunday, or during a live session on Sunday. Okay, so now where did our fuel subsidy money go to? That's a question. Where did our fuel subsidy money go to? Quick pause. If this is resonating with you so far, I want you to smash the like button right now. And don't just keep it to yourself. Share this live with 2 friends or family members who needs to hear this message today. Your single share spreads this faster than you think and helps us to reach more people with the truth. Thank you for sharing this. Now let's get into the meat of this next topic. 712 billion naira airport project. Where did the first subsidy money savings go? Nigerians were told that the first subsidy removal would save the economy. Yes, that's what we are told. But what are they doing with that money? Festus Keyamo now says that the 712 billion naira will be pumped into rebuilding the Lagos International Airport, the Murtala Muhammed International Airport. How does this help the average man? The student who can't afford school fees, the farmer who can't access roads. How does this project help them? Over 95% of Nigerians don't make use of the airplane. How does it help them? Keyamo was on Channels TV live and told Nigerians and the world that Tinubu that top in Tinubu's priority is the Lagos International Airport. That one of the top things in their priority is to fix that airport to their standard. Not fixing hunger, not fixing inflation or insecurity, but pumping in a whooping sum of 712 billion into Murtala International Airport. When asked where the money would come from, he said it's from the fuel subsidy savings. Now, Keyamo's fuel subsidy savings Keyamo said exactly that the fuel subsidy savings are being used to rebuild Terminal 1 of the Lagos Airport. Just in case you have not watched this, check out the story. Is on this channel after this live. Okay, that story was posted on this channel. Check it out on the after this live. Okay, good. So Nigerians are asking questions. Do we really have savings like this, and this government has been borrowing recklessly? Or could this be a creative way of answering P2B's question on where is the fuel subsidy money? If you check this channel, you will see a post on that. I did a content on that where he was asking Oshomole, where is the fuel subsidy money? And the Shomoli was dumbfounded. They didn't have an answer to that. Okay, so go back to this channel after this live and watch that, okay? So could this be a way, a creative way, a tactical way of this administration answering this question on where is the fuel subsidy money? Come on. If the money was there, why the incessant borrowing? How are we sure this announcement is not to silence further inquiry into what is being done with fuel subsidy money? So this government can have a few days without, doing whatever they want with borrowed money, with the generations yet unborn to repay. Okay? So probably they are having tactically throwing this to the public to let them know that the money we generated from the fuel subsidy, we are pumping it into the aviation industry. So don't ask us tomorrow, where is your fuel subsidy money? Look at that airport, that's what we're doing with it. Some of us that are current with happenings in the nation are aware that over 700 kilometers of road that is supposed to be done from Lagos to another part of the country, just about 30 kilometers was done and commissioned. What does that tell you? These guys are just interested in cutting out money and telling you they are doing projects which they don't have plans of completing. Just about how many years ago, Buhari commissioned the second terminal of that airport. Money was pumped in to build that terminal, and he commissioned it. And now Festus is telling us why we need to build another one, demolish the first terminal and build it from scratch to up and all that. And what will be required to build it is 712 billion naira. And where is the money coming from? That's your fuel subsidy money. That is where it's coming from. So don't ask us about fuel subsidy anymore, because that is where the money is coming from. Okay, so now the question is this: is it possible that this announcement is not to silence further inquiry into what is being done with that fuel subsidy money, so that this government can have a few days doing whatever they want with borrowed money, with the generations yet to be born are to repay? There are lots of questions. Let's check online for what people are saying. But before we do that, leave your thoughts in the comments. What exactly do you think of this? If you think this is a waste, let's know in the comments. If you feel it's justified, what they are doing is justified, building another terminal is justified in Lagos, let us know also. If you feel this shouldn't be the priority of this government at the moment, also indicate that in the comments. I will personally go through all comments. Let's delve into the reactions of people on the subject, starting with Mr. P2B or P2B's response, okay? Now, P2B tweeted that Tinubu chose 712 billion airport renovation while 34 million Nigerians face hunger. So this is not what we should be doing now. We have people going under poverty, hungry, and and you are pumping in 712 billion naira into airport. Okay, according to Sahara Reports, and you can see 1.6k comments there and 444 shares. So let's look at how the Nigerian people are reacting to that report. Now, this one is saying Tinubu is building Lagos in anticipation for Oduduwa nation. So somebody is saying that Tinubu is building Lagos in anticipation for Oduduwa nation. Okay? Now, from borrowed money, later he go borrow again. Somebody is saying that he's doing this from borrowed money and later he will borrow again. Okay? Somebody else is saying that he's building Lagos with what? In anticipation for Oduduwa nation. Bola Tinubu International Airport, that will be the new name. Okay, now I can see why P2B is serving food in the occasion. So people are commenting variously. He built Lagos, he is building Nigeria. He is building a new airport. This person asking a question. Those hungry ones will come and defend him now. Okay, according to Bright. His hungry brothers are defending him now, according to Kelechi. He wants to change the name. So this, to taxi his private jet to London hospital. Okay, so that you have an express route to fly to investors from which country, I beg. If you watch that video, you got to go to my channel and watch it. Facebook Schema was talking about investors that will handle the stuff, doing the project. All these are a way to siphon. Let's go back a little bit. All these are ways to siphon Nigerian money. So that goes back to one of the comments I was saying. Is this a smart way to siphon Nigeria and leave debt for the unborn generations to pay? The future we must invest in. Somebody is talking about the young girl that, okay, this kind of money still did this country. Wow. The airport is about to get a new name, according to Victor. If I were Keyamo, I will increase the budget to 900 billion because I know Baba will not hesitate to approve it. Okay. The only position figure, keep dragging Baba T like I pass my neighbor generator. Else he go, they do anyhow. The only opposition figure. Okay, he's talking about P2B as the only opposition figure. It's good project. It's the priority of federal government. Don't mind critics. Man is not for bread alone. Right on. That is from somebody from the West. So there are a lot of people commenting. Anyone that works hard and thinks man can't go hungry. That man, na madman be that. Okay? I don't come. Make I read tribal war and fighting. Government of Yoruba by Yoruba and for Yoruba. Ha ha ha. Okay? Make Ikuku buy bag of rice and other food stuff and be sharing. Eat for us. Rain over to you, food done. His tribe are happy with whatever he's doing. Can you see how enjoyment won't finish them? A new name for that airport is coming soon, Aswaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu International Airport. Okay, wicked man indeed in the history of the world. Okay, after the renovation, it will be called Tinubu International Airport. How can consumption-driven economy transition to production-based economy without significant investment in technological infrastructure and human capital development? Developing infrastructure is essential for a sustainable production economy. Failure to invest in infrastructure will keep Nigeria's economy consumption-driven. Beware of what is Bajwe. I'm not sure what that means. The money is supposed to be spent in creating job opportunities to the youth, and it will reduce the rate of insecurity. Money that will go 1 billion each to all Nigerians. And as a matter of fact, with it, so they go abroad, Abi. Water is 100% in his brain, but meanwhile, he knows what he's doing. Where did he get that number of 34 million? Which country, which way, Nigeria, my country, hunger, they the land. So people are reacting variously according to how this is touching them. From production to consumption, still they import. Obi Sabi quote figures. Come and ask him how. Okay, so every politician on the verge of election is a lover of the masses. So people don't care of the end of hunger as long as one of them is the head. Okay, so let him give us 1 million for each. This Obi no get small sense at all. The man people I swear down na misplaced priority. Nigerians iku iroju, whatever that means. Okay, do we have good international airport Nigeria? Blah blah blah. Somebody should help Obi. Let's not fold our hands and wash him. Okay, so these are people reacting variously to that. And you can begin to see how Nigerians have divided themselves across according to tribal sentiment. Because of tribal sentiment, people are saying people from the West are supporting what the government is doing, whether it is good or not, whether there is poverty in the land, whether people are hungry or not. They don't send you. Okay, while other nations, other people, they from the southeast, from the north, and other parts are saying no. From the south, they are saying what the government is doing now is a misplaced priority. I want to have your feedback in the comments. What do you think about this? What do you really think about this? What exactly do you think about this? Do you think this is a waste? Let's know in the comments. If you feel this is justified, let us also know. If you feel this shouldn't be the priority of this government at the moment, also indicate. I will personally go through all the comments, okay? So we're going to go to the next item we have. The next item we have, and it's about Tinubu's borrowing spree. Tinubu has gone on a borrowing spree, okay? So while citizens suffer, Tinubu's administration has borrowed more money than Buhari did in his first 6 months. And I can tell you they have borrowed more money than has ever been borrowed from the time of Obasanjo, in fact, from the time of democracy, from the time of Obasanjo till now. Yes, and I'm going to explain that in details. Okay, so Tinubu has actually, this administration has borrowed more money than Buhari did in his first 6 months. Just this year, Nigeria secured loans from World Bank, China, Saudi Arabia, and even the AFDB. Olusegun Obasanjo in 1999 to 2007 left a legacy of debt relief. When he assumed office in 1999, Nigeria's external debt stood at a staggering $28 billion, much of which was inherited from previous military regimes and was owed to the Paris Club of Creditors. Obasanjo's administration prioritized debt relief as a cornerstone of its economic policy. In 2005, the administration successfully negotiated a historic debt relief deal with the Paris Club. This agreement resulted in a cancellation of $18 billion of Nigerian debt, with the government paying $12 billion to clear the remaining balance. And by the end of his tenure in 2007, Nigeria's external debt had been reduced to just $2.11 billion, marking a significant turnaround. When the late Umar Yar'Adua became president between 2007 to 2010, the external debt increased from $2.11 billion to $3.5 billion. This rise was attributed to concessional loans aimed at funding development projects, particularly in education, health, and infrastructure. When Goodluck Jonathan became president in 2010 to 2015, the external debt increased from $3.5 billion to $7.3 billion, a $3.8 billion increase. These are not naira, these are in dollars. When Muhammed Buhari, the late president, took office in 2015, Nigeria's external debt stood at $10.3 billion. By the end of his tenure in 2023, this figure has ballooned to $42.9 billion, reflecting an increase of $32.6 billion, the highest debt accumulation since 1999. But hear this. Bola Ahmed Tinubu took office just 2 years ago in 2023. He took the trend of borrowing from a kindergarten level straight to a professional level. Okay, he has borrowed $6.5 billion from the World Bank, borrowed another $1.57 billion, $1.2 billion, and $21 billion. All I'm mentioning is in dollars, not naira. $21 billion loan was just approved recently by Senate in July 28th of, according to the news, in July 28th of 2025. In just 2 years, 21 billion was just approved just yesterday, just few days ago. Records has it that borrowing per annum under Buhari was at an average of 4.7 trillion naira per year. However, borrowing under the Tinubu administration has skyrocketed to 49.8 trillion per year. Let's do the math. If the average borrowing under Buhari was 4.7, let's call it 5 trillion per year, and he served for 8 years, 5 times 8 is 40, right? Fantastic. It means that we can give it to Buhari that he borrowed 40. Wait, 5 times 8 is what actually? That is 40, right? Good. So Buhari borrowed approximately 40 trillion naira his 8 years in office. But look at this. Under Tinubu, the average borrowing per year has skyrocketed to 49.8 trillion. So what Buhari couldn't do in 8 years, this administration has done more than that in 1 year. And we are just 2 years away. In just 2 years, the administration has borrowed more than 10 times what Buhari borrowed in the same time frame. That is where we have seen ourselves today. If you are feeling this hardship as a result of this Tinubu administration, drop your city in the comments. Let the world know this isn't just numbers, it's real people suffering. Also, tag 3 friends who should be on this live. Let this This is a movement to gather Nigerians to say never again to bad governance. Tag 3 of your friends. Let them see this live. Share it on your WhatsApp groups. Share it on your social media platforms. And let's us get this movement started. Never again to bad governance. Okay, so now, P2B in a recent post reassures Nigerians of his commitment to one term, saying that one term is enough. So amidst critics, amidst doubt, amidst controversies, he didn't keep quiet. He didn't keep quiet. He was not silent. P2B is not silent to those calling him out to be desperate and needing psychiatric evaluation. He spoke up to dispel the haters, the doubters, the critics, and those that have questioned his true intent as regards to running for one-term presidency. He has shown that he is more committed to making Nigeria work than play politics with people's lives. Before we delve into his rebuttal and the reaction following it, if you have made it this far, you are officially part of this movement. So go ahead, subscribe, ring that bell, and let's keep building together. Comment below where you are watching from and your hot takes on the issues discussed so far. I read everyone. I read every single one of them. And please share this live on WhatsApp, share it on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere people need the truth. We have what it takes to get what we desire and deserve from those in government, but we must be strategic. Now let's dive into Mr. P2B's rebuttal and the reactions trailing it. So in his personal profile page, he said that if service is the motive, turning the tide in 4 years is possible. I still find it baffling that my decision to do a term of 4 years, if given the mandate to rule this country, is generating so much agitation. By this feeling, we are doubting the fact that a sincere leader can achieve much in 48 months. I have never been desperate in the pursuit of power or anything else for that matter. There are some traits associated with desperation which in no way are in any of my political behaviors in the past and now, like engaging in overly aggressive rhetorics or actions to prove a point or gain attention, becoming overly defensive or reactive to criticism, often to the point of appearing paranoid, making unrealistic or unfulfillable promises to win support or approval, resorting to personal attacks or character assassination to discredit opponents, or frequently changing positions or policies to suit immediate political needs. What drives me is not personal ambition, but a deep commitment to seeing Nigeria work. And if the sacrifice required of me is 4 years of sincere, accountable leadership, so be it. Throughout my political journey, I have never been involved in thuggery, the snatching of ballot boxes, or any form of electoral malpractice. I challenge anyone. Conduct your investigations. You will find no stains of rigging or violence associated with my name. I have always chosen the path of peace, principle, and civility. Ask those who have contested against me. None were ever denied their right, framed or falsely accused. None was asked not to place their advert materials or break the bank to do so. I believe in fair competition, not manufactured victories. In 4 years, we can confront corruption head-on, redirecting resources to priority areas. For instance, the trillions used to acquire new presidential jets and the other unnecessary expenses at this time could have been channeled into education, healthcare, or infrastructure. Within the same period, we ensure that the rule is sacrosanct and the rule of law is strictly followed. Within the same period, we can conduct free, fair, and credible elections. Leadership to me is not about entitlement. It is about service. If given the mandate for just one term, I will dedicate every moment to building a Nigeria that works for all. You can feel that even as I read it, coming from P2B. Okay? And as usual, people had to react. People responded. People reacted, okay, to what he had to say. And let's go through some of the comments. Say, you are called to serve and is visible and clear to the blind and dumbest person in Nigeria. P2B is coming. A new Nigeria is possible. Your Excellency, Mr. P2B, I know you can do it. Please save Nigeria because we will cast the votes. We are desperate to see Nigeria work for everybody. Ruben Abati should go to. Cook, man, cook. The other camp will go into disarray again. Even if na 6 months you want, sir, I and my household go vote you. A new Nigeria is possible. Okay, you can see that coming from the Nigerian masses. Okay. So this guy said, imagine 4 years of due budget and no padding, stabilizing the economy and deflating the inflation rate. Leadership is no stress to a committed mind. Is P2B or nothing? Okay, somebody has to say, even if it's only electoral reform that you are able to achieve in that 4 years, that will be a lot. If you are able to reform INEC and ensure that going forward, the votes of citizens will count, then that 4 years will not be a waste. Anybody that hates Mr. P2B is evil and doesn't have truth in him or her. The foremost, if not the only intentional leader in Nigeria for now. I fully believe and trust you, sir. Your word is your bond. You've always walked your words. Always focus on what is necessary when every other thing remains essential. If I wasn't in Anambra State when you were the governor, I would have had my doubts as to what you can do, the changes you can create in governance. But lo and behold, I, like many others who were there, now no more than ever. Now, more than ever are blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's that. Nigerians, how I wish we could see through. I served in Anambra State in 2008. I know the love this man has for education and a lot of infrastructural. So this is coming from Taiwo Phillips. Okay, I know the love this man has for education and a lot of infrastructural development he made, especially in the infusion of information technology in education. Imagine that leap many years ago. If we can just give him the chance, just maybe the last chance we'll have at getting it right. Fantastic. Taiwo, I love that, okay? So, and a lot of people are commenting, if Tinubu could turn Nigeria into a destructive direction in just a second, then a whole 4 years is enough to redirect our path through a visionary leader. Peter Obi, a new Nigeria is possible, Peter Obi. Okay, sir, what I would expect you to achieve this guy is telling him his expectations. For every selfish position, there is a dedicated leader. Just when all hopes were lost on politicians, P2B emerged and has proven not to be made of same stock with the rest. Now, who no know you, go they doubt you. With the way you move with speed round the clock, Nigerian can be fixed within 24 months. It's possible. Honestly, P2B remains the most credible and sincere alternative. And this is coming from Akin, can't pronounce that name though. Akinayajo, okay. P2B remains the most credible and sincere alternative in today's political space. His track record, lifestyle, and values speaks volumes. He is not driven by desperation or a thirst for power. He is driven by purpose. Some people doubt what can be achieved in 4 years, but history shows that transformational leadership doesn't need forever. With sincerity, discipline, and the right priorities, okay, the rest ensued, okay? Within 4 years, just address the issues of accountability, reduce cost of government, and tackling of corrupt practices, and everything will fall in place. Fantastic. Olawale Ajayi has this to say. The question is, has Constitution not stipulated 4 years? If they know nothing can be fixed in 4 years, they should review the Constitution then. Is governance not even continuum? Must a political leader serve 2 terms? Which law says so? No, that's good. I believe in fair competition, not in manufactured victories. Then, Mr. P2B, 90% of Nigerians have agreed to vote you in to the seat of power. It only remains for INEC, Nigeria, to do the needful. Thank you, Chode Onyama, for that. INEC has been our problem. Okay, this guy has to say, Icon Obodo say, this is the kind of leadership philosophy Nigeria desperately needs. Service over self, purpose over power. When sincerity drives governance, even 4 years is enough to lay a solid foundation for lasting change. The true mark of leadership isn't in how long one stays, but in what one does with the time given. May we rise to value integrity, not incumbency. A new Nigeria is possible. Thank you very much, Obode Icon. Okay, so what drives me is not personal ambition, but a deep commitment to see Nigeria work. My man for the work, a bold statement of knowing oneself. I have been saying it. If anything was in P2B's cupboard from day one, they would have arrested him. That is the truth. But my leader is too clean in our political terrain. A different kind of fragrance. Keep spreading the headache in their camps. Wow. Olusegun Prosper said, it took Fashola, former governor of Lagos State, 1 year to transform Lagos. Fashola was on every single part of Lagos at the same time. Massive development and transformation at the same time. So what is he trying to say? If it can take a governor 1 year, then 4 years, in 4 years a lot can be done. Dear P2B, I encourage you to focus more on a concrete strategy for confronting 2027 election head on and less on distractions that may derail this mission. It is time to begin mobilizing the people, engaging stakeholders, and rallying opposition figures towards amending electoral law to make electronic transmission of results compulsory. This should also be established. So this is another focal point we should focus on. The only thing I'm sure of is once they did not grab it, run with it, our victory is sacrosanct. Oh, that's interesting from Elder Covenant. Okay, I'm equally surprised at the way the 110 bid is annoying those desperate politicians. Wow. By the way, I thought the National Assembly was proposing a bill for presidents and governors to have a single term of 6 years. What happened to that bill? Okay, so many leaders in the past who genuinely had the interests of the people in their hearts had proven 4 years is enough to set the country on a path of progress. E.g. Nelson Mandela and Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. That's from Muhammed. Okay, so the 2 years of dear late President Yar'Adua positive leadership is still very memorable to us till today, not to talk of 4 years. No time is too small for a good leader. Vice President Osinbajo 2 weeks in office when Buhari traveled was better than the whole Buhari tenure. Can you imagine that? A good leader always be remembered as a good leader in the heart of people. Keep pushing, sir. We are behind you. Thank you, chosen Shaibu for that, okay? It doesn't matter if they believe you or not. I believe you can do it. Yar'Adua spent less than 3 years, yet we talk about him all the time. That's from Owak from Raphael. Okay, so that's much we can take from that. That's much we can take from that. So I want to also hear your own view to this. What are you saying on this? Is it actually possible that Peter Obi can turn around the tide, turn around this nation towards a prosperous trajectory within 4 years? If you think it is possible, type 4 years is enough in the chat room, in the comments. If you think it's not possible, give us your view. Let us know what you think in the comment space, okay? Now, hear me. I want to give you my final take, my fellow Nigerians and viewers all over the world. It's obvious they might have thought we are all fools. Yes, they think we will stay quiet and why they loot us dry. It's alleged that they bought their way into power through INEC, through the judiciary, and everyone that could be bought. But we that voted, we know the truth. So they might be so desperate to loot us dry, using all their infrastructural pursuits, buying private jet, renovating the conference center, building 700 plus kilometers of road where only 30 kilometers was built and commissioned, doing international airport. They think they might bring up projects just to loot us dry. So they might be so desperate to loot us dry just in case they don't get a second term. Yeah, through their multi-billion projects and their borrowings that have no direct impact on the lives of over 95% of citizens. They may have perfected their looting ploys through getting the nation into intense external debt to fill up their coffers, but not anymore. Yes, not anymore. Not anymore. Go and type not anymore in the comment. This platform, this life is a proof we are weak. We will hold them accountable, and if they fail to amend their ways, we will kick them out the door and ensure their monies doesn't buy them our most exalted positions any longer, irrespective of who is in charge of INEC, irrespective of who is in charge of judiciary, irrespective of who is in charge of the police or the military. Yes, they can be in charge, but they are fathers, they are brothers, they are cousins, they are sisters, they are blood. So we'll hold them accountable, and we'll make sure they don't use our own against us any longer. Yes, we can, and we will. P2B may have given us hope, but it's up to us to act. We must challenge this system, vote wisely, and speak fearlessly. We must challenge this system. We must vote wisely, and we must speak fearlessly. If today's life opened your eyes, then spread it. Help to spread this. Share this video with 5 friends. Subscribe to this channel and drop a comment for the replay viewers. This is Hot Take Nation, and we'll be back. The revolution will not be televised, but it will be live streamed. Thank you so much. I love you. Hit on the notification button and share this on your WhatsApp groups, share this on your social media platforms, and let it go viral. Let Nigerians know that the revolution has started. God bless you.